Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So happy Valentine's to you all out there. And if you have a loved one by your side, enjoy your beautiful day together. And if you don't, make the best of it. Know that you are special, you are beautiful or handsome. You are deserving. So I just want to do a little quick chit chat about my healing process. If you've watched my previous videos, you will know that I have a sister, God bless her soul. She's been called. So she's no longer with us in the physical, but she was a tarot reader. She spent her part of her life really interested in it, and she could read palms and she could do the tarot cards. I believe she had mentioned that she stopped doing it only because it frightened some of the people around her, and she didn't want them to freak out or whatever. But through my divorce, I was going through a lot of difficulties, but we had a falling out, so I didn't feel like I could call her when she was still here. So I'm talking about around 2019, 2020. So I began watching the tarot readers, and I began to try their advice. So, like the background music is 528 hertz music, and it has healing abilities. And so I've spent time here and there just meditating and listening to the music. I also, they also had suggested that to find my passion. What am I passionate about? So that's when I started doing the artwork, and God bless me that I was able to give over 300 to random people. As I was, wherever I was going, I always carried a few, or I made arrangements to drop some off. And that giving, I've always been a giver, so it felt good in my heart to give, and people either got to choose, or the ones that I presented to them they really liked. So to give to people who I barely know, like acquaintances or perfect strangers, was really good for me. And I began writing my autobiography, and some of the parts, I'm not done yet, but some of the parts are real painful. So apparently, even though I never spoke about it, or, I just kind of tucked it down. So, to get through the autobiography up to age 20 was really difficult. And I still have a few decades to catch up. So, I've been doing that as well. And then moving back to California, I've been able to, God's blessed me to be able to afford paint and the canvas frames. So again, God blessed me that I was able to give to family members, friends, and random strangers. And it's right around 300, I think, plus or minus. But, it's the idea of giving freely. To give freely. The one thing is, I can tell you that people want to attach to me, like, and I guess it could be mutual, where people want me to spend more time with them and that sort of thing. But I've learned that, and I try to explain that, I'm not going to be here forever. One day, God's going to, tell me it's time to move on. And I don't want to get attached. And I mentioned, you have your family. You should be building beautiful memories with them. You never know when God's going to call you. And to embrace it. Embrace building the memories so your children and grandchildren will have great memories of you. So, Valentine's Day is a day of love. It's a day of coming together as a couple and really doing something special for each other. And if you have someone that you really care about, it doesn't have to be like your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse. It could be your child that's distant. You can still send a card. You can still write stuff in there and write your feelings down and send it off. And when they get it, hopefully they'll give you a call and say, "Hey Mom, I got your card today. I'm surprised that I got one because you've never really sent me one." Or it could be a man, a father overseas, and he could be in a military setting or something. And it's just nice to get those cards. So, they have that to hold. And when you both have a chance to meet up, it'll be a wonderful thing. Now, I'm finding that people I thought that would be together forever, they split up. And I haven't even really addressed it to them because it's not really my business. I really thought this particular couple would stay together forever. And I'm not sure what happened. It's not my business. But sometimes it's just not meant to stay. So many people are splitting up, and it's if things aren't right and you cannot balance out, if you cannot find a happy medium, and you've tried, then it just maybe wasn't meant to be. So through that, children get hurt. The people around, your friends and your family, they are trying to understand what happened. But your children, it can cause some almost irreversible damage. And you can only wait as time passes. And you can only pray, and you can only send cards if they're not taking your calls, if they're not answering your emails. You just keep doing what you can do to let them know that you care about them. Valentine's is a day to freely give. It's a day to make a special dinner or go out somewhere special to have a nice dinner. It's meant to really appreciate each other. So, my brother Randy, he passed away probably about 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago, and he said something to me one day, and he said, I don't celebrate Christmas. And I said, oh yeah, why's that? He said, because I believe that you should treat the ones you love like it's Christmas every day. So, although Valentine's is a special day, it's not meant to be a special day just for that day. It's a day to celebrate the love that you shared all year long. That means you can't just purposely not be present in the marriage for the whole year except for the holidays. And I've actually seen that in my own life, you know, and you know, maybe part of that's my fault. Maybe part of it's that I had a hard time receiving. You know, it's just everybody has something else that's going on in their mind. If you're not willing to work on it, if you're not willing to ask those questions, if you're not willing to be really all in to make it work, and that could be from either side or it could be from both sides, then you're doomed to not have it anymore. And once you don't have it, some people can just detach and take the lesson and move on and get their healing and wait for God to bring in the actual right one. So I've been married twice. The first time I was married, I don't even remember, to tell you the truth, it was 1982. But we did have a marriage certificate. I think we just went in front of a judge. I don't really remember. But my second marriage was with a preacher. And just because you do that, from what I feel like now, after 2 failed marriages, is you have to be able to put in the work with God. You have to stand firm with God and your spouse as well. And, you know, depending upon what your so-called religion is or your cultural beliefs, you have to have the higher spirit approve your relationship. You have to know that, you have to really know in your heart that God sees everything. God can see people mistreating each other. God can see that it's one-sided. God can see that the fights are made for a purpose, so they have a reason to leave the house. God knows your heart. God knows your intentions. So if you're lucky enough to have a husband or wife that wants you to be the best you and tells you you can do better, you know, you have more things to shine about. You have more things to learn. You have to grow together, yet you have to be independent and learn different things that you like. You can't always try to please your spouse, and your spouse can't always try to please you. But you have to have this connection where each can be on their own journey, but still stay together. And then there will be portions, of course, where your journey intertwines because you're married and you're always together. In other words, if I had a desire to go mountain hiking and my spouse didn't, well, to me that'd be kind of lonely for me to do myself. And I never really did those things because, honestly, if my spouse showed no interest in anything that I was interested in, eventually, if I went in a hiking group, eventually there'd be someone who understands what I'm saying, who has felt the same way, or can see that I'm there climbing a mountain when I have a husband at home. I don't know, it's just this weird kind of balance that we have to find, because my intention would never to go hiking on a mountain to suddenly have an affair, to meet somebody else. But if I don't want to go alone and I go in a group, I mean, like, what is there? I don't know if I'm right or wrong in how I'm feeling. I've been divorced since 2019, and I'm not one to just go and just sleep with any Tom, Dick, or Harry. I just have never really believed that. When I was a teenager, sure, I was experimenting. But as an adult, that's not something that I would even entertain. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you all is, if you're lucky to have that one that's with you, that's next to you, keep the fire burning. Keep learning each other. Keep being interested in each other. Like the first day you met. It's possible. I've seen quite a few couples that have been married for 50 years. And when I walk up upon them, I do tell them, I was like, I always thought you two would be together forever. I just saw the way you looked at each other. There was always love. I made the mistake in asking my cousin. I was like, how did you guys do it? And I think he was just being jolly, just like joking around. And he put his head down and shook his head. And he's like, I don't know. And that upset his wife a little bit. And I didn't mean to make her upset, but I just knew that couple would always be together. It's the love that they share. And I asked her, she's like, we fought for it. There were times when we had to, have some words and get some stuff ironed out. But it takes one to be able to listen while the other one speaks without interruption. And, the one speaking might be done, and maybe the other one has to just take a step back and think, I need to think about this, so I answer in the way that really comes across as how I feel. And, families, they stay together. Sometimes it's for the wrong reasons. I would never want to lay next to someone and just always be angry with them. I wouldn't want to be in the same house with someone that has a hard time hugging me or giving me a kiss goodnight. I would have a hard time with someone when I go to lay down, I wake up and he's down at the bar. And of course, it would devastate me if I had a husband who, while we were out, a woman stands 2 inches in front of him to take his order. It's, you don't really want a spouse to sit at home waiting on you. You don't want someone that you really love to put their life on hold for you. If you really love them, those are the things that you would not do. It's not even a question, It's not even a question when you decide that you want to be with someone. I'm going to cut out this, and this because...
If you're thinking about getting better internet at a better price,
I'm sorry.
Thinking.
I'm going to cut out this, and this because I know this could cause problems in my marriage. I know this could cause problems in my relationship. I know this could cause problems in us moving forward. And if you're not willing to cut those things out, then you should be willing to cut that person loose instead of making them wait till you're ready to grow up, till you're ready to be a man or a woman and stand righteously with love and dedicate and commit yourself. I haven't been blessed yet to find that one. And I'm not willing to settle for less. I'm not willing just to be out there, putting myself out there. I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to wait for God. I'll keep doing my healing work. I'll keep living my life. I'll keep moving forward. And when God has that one for me, then you should know that God sees everything. God knows everything. God knows your heart. So don't be going that way unless you're ready. You're ready for the real thing. And that real thing is called love. So happy Valentine's Day. I hope the couples out there are loving each other and enjoying each other and making memories and laughing, giggling, maybe acting a little childlike, your inner child. The acting childlike is different than acting childish. We all know that. Happy Valentine's Day. I almost said Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless you all. I send you love, light, peace, harmony. Take care. See you the next time.